would have thought that at this point, bro, the two guys that punch teammates would get into it and eliminate one of the guys from our matchup against the Warriors. Draymond Green, 5-game suspension. Shout out Blake. Shout out Dave. Let me know what's up. How do you feel about this, Dave?
Well, I knew it. I mean, like, let's just be honest. The writing's been on the wall for a while on this. We knew for a fact that Draymond Green was fucked.
Fucked.
We knew it. I mean, like, when a player comes out of the screen and he comes into the screen and then he has his hands around somebody's neck, I knew he was in trouble. I thought if it was his hands, it would have been a 20-game suspension. But the fact is, maybe a 10-game suspension. The fact is that he put him in the chokehold. The
It
second
wasn't
he
with
put him
the
in the chokehold, to me, that was warranting at least a 5-game suspension. The commish went light. That's cool with me. Giving him another chance, but 5 games, I don't think Steph's going to be back for at least 3 games. So we could have a very depleted Warriors team, which sometimes is very scary. What's up, Wyatt?
What's up, Wyatt? So let's talk about this. So we saw the NBA Power Rankings come out from ESPN, and the Thunder found themselves in a familiar spot at number 10. There's a couple of teams that are up above us that maybe we don't agree with. There
Fucking
are some
wankers
teams,
making that, bro.
wankers. All right. So, but in the end, who cares, right? It's early. Like, what really matters is like what happens next. In fact, I would rather be underrated at this point in the season than overrated
What's
because
up,
then every
Cleveland?
time you lose, people are like, ha ha ha, overrated. So let's look at it. We got 2 games against the Warriors. You think we're gonna be able to get those?
Yeah, I've been a big fan about this 5 game skid, as you could say. Like, most of them are away. I've been a big advocate of this being the moment to see what's going on. At this point, I think we're what,
Seven and
2 and
three.
0, 3
Oh
and
yeah,
0.
on the road trip. Yeah.
So, that's where we need to be at. Like, this team is doing some great things. We've lost 1 game in the last 5 games, 4 games. So, this team just is clicking right now, and we just got to keep on seeing what they can do. They put away a team that's very young, the San Antonio Spurs, and now they have another test to be able to put a team away that's very depleted. Um, if they're able to go out there and crush Golden State for 2 games, then we're going to be sitting here, and the whole, like, just dynamic of what's happening in Oklahoma City is going to be much greater than we can expect. Because, like, if you look at the rankings, even in Pelton, and some of these other guys that have came out with rankings for Rookie of the Year, right? Chet is number 1 now, right? Not only that, but Cason Wallace is cracking in the top 5 of these guys' rankings, and that's important because now there's a respect there, right? And then you're seeing Shea averaging 25 plus points a game right now and just doing his thing and dominating. And then you're seeing Dort do pretty well. You're seeing Josh Giddey have good games here and there. You're seeing J Dub throw some good games in there. Oh, and by the way, Chet is way better than anybody thought he was going to be. And I think
Mhm.
that's what's the most surprising thing about everybody. Everybody's like making excuses right now that, well, yeah, Chet had a year in the NBA where he just got to know the Oklahoma City Thunder staff and his spacing and all that stuff in the Oklahoma City Thunder, locker room type thing. I get that, but also, in order for that to happen to Victor, he would have to get injured. And are you saying you guys want Victor to get injured to get that type of, treatment? I don't. I don't want to see Victor get injured. I want to see him play. So for me, that's the same thing with Chet. I'd rather have him played last year than be a rookie this year. So for me, this is not a like, let's throw a rock at Chet for not being a true rookie. Like, this is exactly what we've been saying all year, is that Victor might have the step up in the beginning of the year, but when it's evident that Chet is more of a better player, more of a round player, in the aspect of he can shoot very at a high efficient rate. He can block the ball at a high rate. He can get rebounds at a high rate. Like, he can do all the things that Victor does, but the difference is the motor. And when you have a motor like Chet, it's different, and that's what's exciting.
Boom, you covered a lot of good shit there, dude. I mean, yeah, Chet's making his move at Rookie of the Year. It was supposed to be the guarantee when Victor got drafted, but Chet's making a race of it. This team, like you mentioned, this road trip. I mean, it looked like it was going to be tough. Um,
for
I
all
said we could have
indications.
lost all the games. I
Yeah.
mean, I said that going into the road trip, it could happen. But now we got two against the Warriors that don't look as tough. But look, last time we played the Warriors, Sarge put up 20.
I know,
So
dude.
you
Nothing's
don't
easy.
know. Nothing's easy. It's the
They've
NBA.
got
So
they've
then
got
on
so many
top of that,
pieces, bro. They've got so many pieces that are
yeah.
able to step up and have a good game or a couple good games. Like they've got enough pieces, and that's okay.
And then we got the Trailblazers to finish off the road trip. So now we're looking at it in like these next
The
three
fail
games.
Blazers.
Yeah, they could all three of them are definitely in that winnable category. I would even go as far as to say, under the current circumstances, they are all like games we should be favored in. And with that, said, like, hey, we're at a new phase where we have to be able to beat the teams we should, win the games we should. That'll go a long way. So, yeah, coming back to Oklahoma City, we could be at a spot where we're what, like 13-3?
Um, we're 7-4 right now,
I'm
so I
sorry,
don't
ten
think we
and
can.
three. I meant
Yeah.
10-3.
We're 7-4 though.
Are we
Um,
7-4? I thought we were
yeah, yeah.
7-3.
No, 7-4.
All right, dude. I've been
So
saying
we could
seven and
be we
three. I
could be
gotta
ten
shut
and
up now.
four. I mean, like that's the thing is I'm cool with 10-4 going back to Oklahoma City. Like, I don't I look at these teams that are ahead of us right now, like the Houston Rockets. They're on an amazing winning streak. The Timberwolves, they're on an amazing winning streak as well. These teams right here, like it's not a surprise that they flare up like this and win a bunch of games in a row. It's not a surprise to me. It shouldn't be a surprise to anybody either because teams like this typically do very well in the beginning of the season, and then the reality strike hits, and then they're struggling to keep on to that ninth, eighth, ninth, 10th spot. So that's fine. Like I'm cool with mediocre for those teams right now. So I'm looking at this and the idea of what this team is capable of doing, looking at the teams that are below us, and knowing that this team is way more capable than anybody's really willing to give them credit for. Because when you bet on a young team, like, you're betting on a lot. Like, you're betting on the fact that they don't have injuries. They don't have this. They don't have this. They don't have a coaching situation on their hands. Like, you have so many situations that most of these writers at ESPN won't be willing to do until Christmas break, after Christmas
Hmm.
break, when the season gets
Yeah,
real. So
yeah.
that's what we're in the midst of right now, is that the Oklahoma City Thunder could have the best record in the league right now, and they would still be ranked barely in the top 5 of the NBA teams because people wouldn't
Mm.
respect them still. And that's not a problem to me because that just gives you fire, gives you like kindling for what's going on. And my whole thing that I see with this team right now is that that's what they need, right? I see Coach D on the sideline screaming and yelling, getting fired up, calling timeout when the things aren't flowing right, getting in the guys' faces, letting them know what they need to start doing. Like, this is a different level than we've seen by Coach D before. This is a different level than we've seen by Shea before because he's playing like he played last season at the end of the year. So what does that mean? That he's going to get that much better at the second half of the year? Fuck yeah, he is. Fuck yes, he is. I'm telling you guys, would it be a shock for me if Shea all of a sudden in the last 20 games of the season puts up some crazy numbers like 40 points a game? Oh, hell no, wouldn't be surprising at all for me. At all.
Yeah.
So we are watching this team not just get better right now, but get better continuously. I bet that Josh Giddey puts his 18 points a game, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 blocks, or 2 steals, whatever you want to add on there. I bet he does that at the end of the season and he's putting those games up continuously. I bet J Dub finds a way to add 25 to 30-point games continuously towards the end of the season. And if they're doing that, like, what are we talking about? Like, we're talking about a loss every 10 games.
Yeah.
Like if our guys are clicking like we think we can. I mean, I didn't talk about Chet there. But I didn't talk about our bench because our bench is getting better. So there's different aspects right now that we're still not seeing this team peak or even close to peaking. And we're seeing these other teams in the West right now peaking. And you're like, oh no, this is not good. Like they're starting to pull ahead. Yeah, sure. They're a half a game ahead or a game ahead of us. Like they're going on a losing streak. I bet my house on it. These teams aren't ready to win. You're going to look back and you're going to say the moment that Draymond Green put Rudy Gobert in a headlock, right? And none of Ruby's teammates came to his assistance. I'm telling you right now, it's going to make a difference. It's going to make a difference when they play against them, right? Because Draymond's not going to let that shit go. He'd be like, "Hey, Ruby, where's your teammates now?" Like he's never going to let that shit go. It's going to be one of those things that's going to haunt that team, and it's going to be bad for that team. They're not going to get away with it. And if anybody ever did that to my teammate, I would be getting a game suspension, $25,000 suspension, something as a suspension, because I would never let a teammate get that done to. Just like, whoa, there we go. Draymond Green. He's like, give me a fucking 5-game suspension. I'm going to make you my bitch for laying your hands on Clay. Like, sometimes that needs to happen. And as much as I don't like Draymond Green, I kind of think that this is a moment that Draymond Green is going to lose $1 million and he's going to be okay with it. Because people are going to second guess when they start messing around with his players. I mean,
You don't think he
seriously.
needs anger management courses?
Oh, bro, come on. If anybody in the NBA right now needs anger management courses, I'll be Grayson Allen, number 1, and number 2, Draymond Green. And I want to say this, if Draymond Green ever put me in a chokehold, bro, I want to make sure this is clear. I wouldn't be a bitch and throw my hands up like this. Be like, ah, I would take my hand, I would secure it onto his ball sack, and I would start pinching his testicles until he started bleeding. Like, fuck that shit, bro. You want to get dirty and put me in a headlock? I will.
So if somebody had you by the throat, you
Pinch.
think that you could grab his balls?
Got some long arms, bro.
And do you think that if you had somebody by the balls, do you think?
Dude, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep, but that grip isn't going to stop. I mean, that grip is not going to stop, bro. They're going to know every single time they sit down for the next 6 months. They're going to be like, "Oh shit, fuck that dude. Fuck that dude. Oh my god, fuck that dude." Like, seriously.
All right.
That's it, man.
I
Someone's
just
going
wanna
to put
make
me
sure
to
that-
sleep, dude. I'm grabbing their testicles. I'm going to rip that fucking thing off, bro. I'm not playing that game.
Grab him by the balls and twist.
Don't let them get away with it, guys.
Dude, I'm so pumped up. This season is on, dude. And there's so much happening, and it feels like the gears of the season are just getting started. We're going to be there live on YouTube. I'm sorry. I'm going to be there at 9 o'clock Central. Dave is on the East Coast, so
I'm going to sleep, bro.
early for him. Way
Going to
early
sleep.
for him. He gets up at like 5, so
I'll watch the game in the morning. We'll come back to you guys.
but I'll be there. So if you guys want to make sure I'm not too lonely, I'll see you in the chat on YouTube, 9 o'clock Central. Can't wait. Pumped up. Dave, you got anything more?
Yeah, man. I want to say this to anybody that is a Josh Giddey not fan, right?
Hater.
A Josh Giddey trading fan, right? You guys can go fuck off, right? Josh Giddey is the man. Josh Giddey is going to deliver us a championship. And by your nonsense and unbelievably wrong way of thinking about who Josh Giddey is on this team, that is not our fault. Go back, look at game film, and recognize that Josh Giddey is the fucking man. We're not trading him. He is in Oklahoma City for life, period.
Let me ask you, Dave, real quick.
Right,
how many of the Russ haters admit they used to hate Russ?
Oh, bro, most of them do.
Really?
Most of them do. Remember,
how many?
Remember Gideon Wilkins, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gideon. So our friend Mark and I, we used to be friends with this guy from Oklahoma City. His name is Gideon. And Gideon hated Russ. I mean, hated Russ. But then he started liking Russ. And then he used to say he used to hate Russ, but now he likes him. Because that's the way some Oklahoma people are. They're willing to admit when they didn't like somebody.
How many people will do that with Giddey? You know why?
That's different, though. That's
they're
different.
Gonna just disappear. They'll just like pretend like they never existed.
Yeah, because how could you look at Josh Giddey and him smile at you and your heart not melt? You know what I'm saying? Like, you just look at Josh Giddey and you just like, you want to like take him and put him in your pocket, and pull him out once in a while and just pet him on the head. Like, hi, Josh, how are you? I mean, that's with Josh.
And how can you hate that, you guys?
How can you hate that?
Get your Josh Giddey bobblehead plushie. Next 5,000 people to get into the Paycom Arena. Dave, it's on Dave.
There we go. Real hair.
Oh.